here's another question from Kristen Zach's first grade class. This one, I believe, is also from Joey. What is a fear of yours? Now, this is a very generalized fear, but this is a fear that I've had for most of my life. And maybe it's an odd fear. I don't know. I've asked other friends about this, but they don't seem to share that same fear. I had this fear that I was not going to be able to get a job. More specifically, I guess my concern was that I did not have enough skills to be an adult, if that makes any sense. So when I was growing up, I was really nervous about like going to someone and asking for a job. And so, I would do chores, I would do errands, but the only job I ever had was I worked in a comic book shop when I was 16 years old. And I just worked the cash register. I filed comic books. But a month into the job, I come into work one day, and the comic book shop is burned down. And that was like the first job I ever had. And I didn't feel like I was very good at it because no one ever came in to buy comic books. Turned out the owner of the store burned his own comic book shop down, but that's a whole other story. But there was just like there's this fear that I had. Well, I guess on a deeper level, my biggest fear is that like I would be homeless, that I would not be able to provide any skills. And so I remember going to school, and I would study and work so hard because I thought, you know what, I need to get to a place where I'm skilled enough that I can be good enough to get a job anywhere. And then when I got my very first job out of art school, I was at a video game company. I remember being so relieved. I remember thinking like, oh my gosh, I'm useful to society. Someone wants me for this measly salary, at a job that I kind of like, but I don't really like because the hours are really bad. But there was just this immense satisfaction that I had, that I knew that someone wanted me to work for them, and it's a weird fear to have, I guess. I guess that really it's a lot of insecurity about your own personal abilities, which kind of rings true to, even when I won the Caldecott Medal, because when I received that award, I remember feeling a lot of inadequacy, thinking like, I think they made a mistake. Actually, this is something that you talk to about a lot with other Caldecott Medal winners. When you talk about winning the Caldecott Medal, none of us ever feel like we're worthy of the award, and there's a lot of insecurity that comes with it. So yeah, and I think that's the nature of most artists or people who write or create art. There is this insecurity that comes with, not feeling adequate or good enough. So if you feel like that right now as a child, it's perfectly normal, because those feelings do happen when you're an adult. You just learn to live with it through experience, and then you realize that these little tics that you have that make you feel unconfident turn into things that you realize that these are feelings that everybody has. So now that I am a young 45 years old, I clearly not too concerned about whether I'm able to provide for my family or this world, but that really was my drive and my motivation to do what I do for a living, because I was worried that I wasn't going to be good enough for this world. That is a long question for what would be a simple question answer. Other than that, you can say spiders. Spiders, like the big spiders, little spiders. Get out of here. Spiders are disgusting.